talk about 6 thoughts for faster workouts. Do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions at the gym or struggling to push past those mental barriers that keep you from having the best workout possible? What if I told you that the secret to the best and most effective workout had absolutely nothing to do with the weights or the reps and everything to do with how you think while you move? Well, today I'm going to share with you 6 game-changing thoughts for me that helped me to transform into the ultimate person that I am today, from being unsure and not successful in the gym and kind of fumbling around with the weights to be the most confident and most fit version of myself. I realized that my 10 years of therapy experience and the mindset around fitness was actually a crucial piece of the puzzle that I was originally missing. And so today I want to share these 6 thoughts with you so that you can transform your body and have the glow up of your dreams. So if you're ready, let's get started. What's up, mamas? Alexandria here. I'm a 35-year-old toddler mom, but I'm also a licensed therapist for over 10 years, as well as a self-professed gym rat. So let's help you have your ultimate transformation. And if you love it here, please make sure that you subscribe and come and join the fam. To me, one of the hardest parts, if not the hardest part of actually getting started in the exercise, is pushing play itself and getting off the couch to get started. Picture you're sitting on the couch, you're chilling, you're hanging out, but you know it's go time and you need to go ahead and get your workout in because that's the time you've allotted for it during the day, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, is kind of at your discretion. But you're sitting on the couch, just hanging out, and it's time to get started. In that moment is a good opportunity for you to remind yourself, I get to move my body today. Not have to, but get to move my body today. I get to move my body right now, and I don't want to miss out on this opportunity, because it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm tired, I don't have time. You could probably think of 900,000 other things that you should be doing in that moment or need to get done. But the reality is, if that's the time you've set aside, later probably isn't going to come, because I was that person. I would be like, oh, well, I'll just work out later, or I'll make time to do it later. Surprise, surprise. Later never came. Whoosha. And because later never came, then at the end of the day, I feel guilty because I didn't get the workout in I said I wanted to get in. And then the cycle just continues to repeat itself. So reminding yourself that I get to work out and I get to move my body rather than I have to is a great strategy to employ. And when you think about creating habits, it's really important that you're actually doing something you love. This thought life is much easier to employ if you actually like the thing that you're about to go do. Because for me, if you're like, hey, let's go for a run, I'm like, hey, no, thank you, pass. I'm gonna watch Gilmore Girls or read my book. But if you tell me, hey, let's go dance, or you turn on some music, or you hand me a pair of dumbbells, I'm much more likely to be willing to join you. And for everyone, that thing is going to be different, but it's easier to employ this if you actually like the activity that you're about to go do. Maybe it's a sport, maybe it's dancing, whatever it is for you. And so if you get started and you're like 10 minutes in and you're like, I'm still not feeling it, or I don't feel well, then and only then, that's when you should stop. Because I promise, for I would say like 9 times out of 10, when I start a workout that I didn't feel like doing, within the first 10 minutes, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm in it now. But it's just getting started. It's pushing that button and pushing play for myself. That part is really hard. All right, so now we've got ourselves off the couch, cute outfit on, and cute $100,000 water bottle in our hands and ready to go work out. You could use that as a weight itself. It probably weighs about 100 pounds. Now we're ready to get started. Rather than looking at an entire workout and potentially getting overwhelmed or kind of concerned about what you see or what you're about to be doing, focus on staying present and in the moment. Focus on, I will do one great rep at a time, or I will do one great song at a time. Whatever it is that you are completing, I speak in reps because oftentimes I'm thinking about strength training, but if you're thinking about something else, the point is, give everything you've got, give what you can in that moment, and stay present with it. Focus on one rep at a time, one set at a time, one song at a time, rather than worrying about the workout in its entirety. Because as you get tired, your energy is gonna ebb and flow, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But in the moment, stay present, stay with it, and just focus on that one rep. Because if you can make each rep the best possible, even as you do get tired, you're still gonna have a better workout than if you hadn't been focusing in the present and staying connected with your mind and your body. So we've now reached the point in your workout where you're starting to get into the workout. You've been working out for a little bit, you're jamming to your music, you're enjoying it, you're feeling it, you're vibing it, but you start to get tired because inevitably That's what should be happening. But there are a couple of thoughts that you can have that will help you power forward and power through to finish a workout rather than just stopping where you are, which of course you should assess for. If you're too tired to finish, that's an entirely different thing. If you've already exerted all the energy that you have, that's a different story entirely. But oftentimes we have more gas in the tank from our body than we think we do mentally. Our mind quits long before our body does. So in this moment, you can think things like, I am here to challenge myself. I am here to grow. Because in those moments, when you get outside of your comfort zone, that's really the only true way to get better at anything, really. And when you're sitting in this place of like, should I continue? Ask yourself, am I pushing myself outside of my comfort zone? Because as long as you stay inside of your comfort zone, you're never going to be able to push forward and to improve or feel better or make progress towards the goals that you have set, whatever those goals are for yourself. Inside of your comfort zone may feel comfortable, obviously, but it's not until we push past that comfort zone level that we're really able to make that progress. For me, I think really what contributed a lot to it was having like a whoop strap to show me what my body was capable of. Because for me, the mental block was about like, well, I don't want to push myself too hard. I don't want to hurt myself. And I think that's part of the reason why the whoop strap was really helpful for me. This is not sponsored by Whoop in any way, just FYI. But I think seeing what my body was capable of was a really great way to show me what I was actually capable of doing versus what my mind thought I was capable of doing. And so maybe for you, it is kind of like tracking your heart rate or just focusing on pushing yourself forward as much as you can. And it's okay to stop and rest. You just don't want to stop and quit. There's a very difference between pushing pause and taking a beat and pushing pause and walking away and not coming back. And I'm also assuming that you're watching this video because you want to push outside of your comfort zone like we just talked about. And in that way, it's important to reframe the way we look at and think about failure. I think for so many of us, myself included, the idea of failure for such a long time for me was around like, it was considered a bad thing, right? You failed a test or you failed, the test is really the only thing that's coming to my mind right now. Where are my examples? But like when I think about failure, I think about failing a test. But what's interesting and different about the gym and about exercise in particular is that you really do have to truly reach a point of at least close to failure in order to see progress at the gym. And so we have to reframe the way we think about failure and remind ourselves that failure is not a bad thing. Failure just means that's as far as we could go for now. And it teaches our body in the gym that we need to work harder or build muscle so that we can push even harder the next time. So if you are strength training and your reps are just like, you're just like doing the reps and no issues, you're probably not growing the muscle that you think you're growing because your body's not getting close enough to failure for you to really need to grow and build more muscle. So failure is not a bad thing. It's important to remind yourself failure is not bad. Failure is an opportunity to grow. And I know it can feel embarrassing sometimes, especially if you're in a public place, but I promise you, people are not judging or even probably paying attention to what you're doing at the gym. So don't worry about them. Worry about your goals and what's working for you. And I think in that way, that's why it's important to pick a program, like an exercise program that you know is going to push you and challenge you so that you don't quit and so that you don't get to a place where you're not pushing to failure. And I think that's part of the magic of why I've had success with Carol and Gervan workouts is because the way that she programs the workouts themselves makes it so that you kind of really don't have a choice but to get to a point of failure. Because of the way that the programs are set up. So push to failure. Failure is not bad. Failure equals growth. And listen, if you're loving this video and finding it helpful, could you do me a huge favor? Could you give this video a thumbs up? It really just lets YouTube know that this has been useful or helpful in some way so they can recommend it out to other people that will find it useful and helpful also. Thank you so much if you took the time to do that. As you start to wrap up your workout, this is when the endorphins are going to kick in. I can think of very few things that feel quite as good as the endorphins post-workout of like, yes, I did it, I rocked it, regardless of how well you think the workout actually went or how well you performed in said workout. Maybe it was your best, maybe it wasn't your best. Either way, enjoy and relish in these endorphins and the accomplishment that you just achieved. Remind yourself, I did it. I am strong. I am powerful every single time you finish that workout until you believe it. You may not believe it the first time you do it. That's called cognitive dissonance. I know we've been over this before. I'm sorry. Forgive me if I've been over cognitive dissonance before. But basically, it's the idea that our brain doesn't believe it because it hasn't experienced it. I always give the example of like you were told 2 + 2 is 5, and then someone tells you 2 + 2 is 4, and you don't believe it because for your whole life you've known 2 + 2 is 5. That's cognitive dissonance. And so because of that, when we sometimes say things that we don't necessarily believe, our brain's like, wait a minute, like does not compute. But I promise the more you say it, the more likely you are to change your thinking as those neurons that fire together wire together. So each time you finish a workout, I'm strong, I'm powerful, until you believe it and relish in it, because look, you did the darn thing, okay? You rocked it, you just accomplished it, you just moved your body and you took care of yourself. So you deserve to feel good and to feel happy and feel strong and love your body for it, okay? You did it. Great job. And as we know, once a workout comes to an end, the next workout will come. And if you're on the early part of the journey, this is the part that sometimes gets tricky because that's when you feel the most sore or the most tired after your workouts. As you get more experienced with it, you actually will get energy from your workouts and you'll feel less tired. But especially early on, you can be really tired and sometimes really sore when you're doing those workouts. And in those moments, remind yourself that this part is only temporary. And as human beings, we don't like to feel uncomfortable. We don't like to feel discomfort, soreness, pain, etc. Our bodies are designed to avoid those kind of things. And so we have to trick our mind into continuing to do them anyway, which can be kind of a tricky thing to do. But again, keep practicing, you'll get it. And in those moments, if you can remind yourself that this is only temporary and still get up and do it anyway. Start those mindset tricks over from the start of the video that we talked about, right? I get to move my body today, and keep going, because I promise you that 9 times out of 10, once you get started and press play and you got those 10 minutes going, you will feel better. And 9 times out of 10, when I would feel sore and tired from going through doing a workout, I would feel so much better when I was finished. I would feel less sore, I would feel less tired. Even with the DOMs, they would be alleviated, or at least better post-workout than they were pre-workout. It was when I would sit and not like move my body, that's when I would get like even more sore. So focus on the long term and what future you wants you to do, because future you will be so proud of you. Like I'm proud of this girl for all the hard work that she did for me, because she put in the work. She got up off the couch when she was tired and when she didn't feel like it and when she was sore, so that I could be here and this version of me could be here. And I'm so thankful for her. And I want you to feel that same pride and thankfulness for the version of you that's coming. Okay, so when in doubt, just press play. And if you've loved this, I'm going to recommend this video to you here. This is a video I did recently on 15 fitness hacks to help change your life. And I think you'll love that one. But YouTube's also going to recommend something they think you'll love based on your watch history. And I sure hope you love it too. Till next time, bye friends.